This is a reading for the full moon, May 2020 in Scorpio. This moon is in Scorpio. So before I do the reading, I always like to talk a little bit about the cosmic shenanigans, as I love to call them, that are happening around this moon, because it always illuminates the things that we could be working on and the things that might happen to come up during this time. Emotions, circumstances. The cosmos is like this beautiful recipe book that's always giving us the ingredients of what it is we could be doing. If you look at where the moon is placed, the sign that moon is in, it'll always tell you these are the type of things that are going to come up. So let's talk a little bit about Scorpio. I know anyone that's into astrology is like, Scorpio, woo, it's intense. Scorpio can be a little intense. It is like this really deep emotional water sign. And so this moon is about deep emotions, but it's not necessarily diving into emotions. Sometimes when you think of Scorpio, you think of like a tsunami of emotions hitting you, and it's like, oh my God, so much is going on. This moon is actually really positive in that sense, in that the Scorpio full moon that we are going to be sitting in right now and for the next few weeks is a chance to release emotions. So anything that comes up for you that is emotionally heavy. So we're actually at a tail end of a 18-month cycle, which I'll talk about in a minute, with some other things happening in the cosmos. And so there have been a lot of shifts for all of us in family, relationships, and the people that are very intimate to us, and that includes ourselves. And so this full moon has come around at the very end of this long cycle to allow us to release the things that we have been carrying through the cycle. Anything that we haven't gotten rid of so far, we can get rid of right now in a very positive way. So when you think about Scorpio diving into those emotions, what's coming up for you right now that is around close relationships, intimacy, deep emotions, maybe things that you really haven't felt that you could express. Self-love is a huge thing right now. What are all of those things you have been struggling with for the last 18 months, probably since, the end of 2018? What are those things that you have been working on? Now is a time for completion. This Scorpio new moon is about endings. And I don't know about you, but I'm like so excited because the last year and a half of my life, the last few years, but very specifically 2018 until now, has been very tumultuous in a sense of like really, really, really deep healing work. And that's Scorpio for you. That is pulling all of that out to be released one last time. And I like to say this all the time, is that when you have these feelings come up, they have to come up and be felt one last time before they are released for good. So if you are in a situation where it's like, oh dear God, I can't believe that relationship from my past just came back up, or my ex came back up in my dreams, or something along those lines, it doesn't necessarily mean that person, ooh, look at that. These are my owl earrings. Were like, fly away, baby. It doesn't necessarily mean that those people are coming back into your life to wreak havoc, especially if it's someone from your past. All it means is it's a final acknowledgement of that situation before you let it go, which is so beautiful if you think about it. I have had like all of my exes, all of my issues, all of my things come up, but just little hints of them. It's like I have a weird dream about somebody and I know, okay, that person's gone. I don't really have to deal with them anymore. And I let them go with this beautiful release. That is what this full moon is. It is so beautiful. It is so positive, and it is opening the door for brand new things to come. So let me talk about that for a minute. We have just ended a cycle. We have north and south nodes of the earth, and the right now we just ended a huge cycle of eclipses, and where the earth was sitting in other signs, where, like I said, the last few years, or like the last year and a half, has really been very deeply about family and about stability. We were dealing with Capricorn, which is all about our financial stability, our home. How are we creating that safe space for ourselves, especially when the world is in chaos? And then we were also dealing with Cancer, which is all about standing in our power. Scorpio is deep emotions, and Cancer is also an emotional sign. But the way that I see Cancer is a little bit more in relation to like standing in your power. Where are you giving your power away to your emotions? Where are you giving your power away to the world around you? And so here we have this cycle that is just ending right now, where it's all about stability, it's all about home life, it's all about finances and how we're creating structure. And then on top of it, how are we standing in our power? So a lot of that has come up for you guys in the last year and a half. That cycle is ending. This full moon is almost the beginning of the end, because that cycle ends in June. So we have a little bit more of that in May, a little bit more of it in June, I believe. And so this full moon really represents, how can I take what happened before with stability, with feeling safe, with that self-love, with the family, with the close relationships, and tie it up. Let go of the things that aren't working for good. And how can I tie that up and create a beautiful little package where my internal world feels safe and loved? The people around me, the close, intimate relationships are either working, or I'm getting rid of the ones that are not working. Because we are about to move into this Gemini Sagittarius, very, very strong Gemini energy for the next 18 months. And that is about community. So if you think about the bigger picture here, we are wrapping up 18 months of really intense self-work and close relationships, so that we can fully expand as the people we are meant to be to our community. That's local community. That could be your physical community. That could be a community that you have online. Who are the people that you created relationships with, and how are you going to expand that just a little bit? And I can see over the next few years that's going to go out into the world. So right now, for the next 18 months, this full moon is really asking you to have closure on the things that need to wrap up. So having said that, I'd like to move into the cards. I just want to reiterate and summarize a little bit of what I just mentioned, that this is a Scorpio full moon. This full moon is beautiful. It's all about endings. Endings in a sense of what isn't working for you, self-love wise, beliefs about yourself, close, intimate relationships that may or may not be working, family, friends, loved ones, coworkers. How can you wrap those things up? How can you tie a neat little bow around everything that's not working for you, so that you can fully step into the new energy that's coming in, where we are all being asked to now share our complete selves with our community. We're being asked to be leaders in our community. And so, yes, I love it. Hello, everyone. So I am about to move into the reading. For those of you just joining, this is impromptu, so you can definitely go back and hear all about the new moon. Sorry, the full moon. I keep saying new moon. Full moon. Full moon. So how do we deal with this energy? Again, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's only going to be hard if we continue to try to hold on to those things that aren't working in our lives. Really, at the end of the day, that's the only time we struggle. The universe is here to support us. The cosmos is here to support us and shake things up a little bit. And sometimes it doesn't feel pretty, but it's for our own benefit. It is giving us an opportunity, look at that, to create balance. Temperance is all about balance. The universe is giving us an opportunity to create balance in our lives. And when we are out of balance, is when we are holding on to those things that aren't working for us. If you feel gross in any area of your life right now, it's time to make that change. That's what this full moon is. It's just like this beautiful release of just like, get rid of it. Get rid of it. So I love that we got the balance card. Temperance is also about balancing that masculine and feminine energy within yourself. So again, Scorpio is very deep emotional. We're moving out of those the work that we have to do with ourselves, with our close relationships. So if you think about balance in that sense, we are all being asked to balance our masculine and feminine energy so that we can step out into the world and be whole. And what that means is we are clearly leaving that toxic masculine energy behind. That's like action. I need to do things. I need to force things. And some of us have been sitting in the feminine energy of being creative and being internal and really doing that self-work for the last few years. And we can't sit in either one of those energies fully. There needs to be a balance. So you can see a lot of the world stepping back from that toxic masculine energy and moving into the feminine energy of listening to our intuition more. But I know that many of us, myself included, have been in the intuition energy and been like, oh God, but I'm so comfortable here on my own and I don't want to step out into the world. Nuh-uh. Now you have to balance that with the masculine energy of taking intuitive action. I know my guidance is blowing up right now with like, you need to do all of these things. And when your intuition, when your feminine tells you to do something, when you get that intuitive hit, she needs to trust your masculine side to take action on that intuitive hit. And that's how those pieces work together. We get the intuition, we get the guidance from within, and then we take steps out into the world. We must go out into the world and do things that are inspired, not the other way around. We don't think about the action we need to do and then tune into it later. That doesn't work. Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, this is a beautiful reading, you guys. Life Renewed. This is such a gorgeous card. This is the equivalent of the World card. We have come to an end of a cycle, and I was just talking about that with the nodes switching and moving into this Gemini energy. If you take advantage of this full moon energy and you finally just like kick that shit to the curb that's not working for you anymore, your life is going to start fresh. This is what we all want. We want a life renewed. We want to start over. We're going to hang on to the things that are working for us. Of course, this isn't about getting rid of everything in your life. It's just about a renewal. So even if you're in relationships that are working, that are beautiful, you have a job that you love, how can you find gratitude for that? How can you have gratitude and find the joy and take a moment to show appreciation for those things? Because they are now moving with you into this new life. You're going to get rid of the things that aren't working, and you are going to hang on to those beautiful things. But it doesn't hurt to just take a moment and say, you know what? Yes, thank you. Thank you for being in my life. Beautiful partner. Oops. See, I'm dropping a card. Beautiful partner. Thank you for being in my life. Job that I love. Business that I created. Family that I adore. Show gratitude for them right now, and that is going to bring in everything that you desire. By showing gratitude, this is what my Moon Magic course is all about. If any of you are taking it or have taken it or will be taking it in the future, it's about gratitude. It's about manifesting with gratitude and using the elemental forces to bring in these things that we want in our life by appreciating the things that we already have, which is amazing, right? God, I'm in such a good mood today. Can you guys tell? So the next card I got was the Six of Swords. And what I really love about this is a woman, to me, the Six of Swords in this deck is a woman that's sort of looking outside herself for the answers. And in this moment for this full moon, it's kind of our last chance to look inside for the answers, to say, okay, how, I was having this conversation with a friend, he might be watching. We were like, wow, I've spent the last few years clearing out all of this junk, and now what? Now I'm like, I'm ready to go. I'm feeling this Gemini air energy. I'm a fire sign, so this energy is just like ramping me up. I freaking love Gemini. But I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs like, okay, but what's next? What's next? I'm only going to find that if I look within. So to me, when I pulled this, I immediately felt like she was looking outside of herself, and she is going to get the answers by, even if you've already cleared everything and you're like, I'm ready to go, just take a little bit of time this week and sit still and see what comes to you. Remember, we want to tap into that feminine side. We want to take inspired action, and that's going to come from within. That's going to come from our intuition. Our dreams. Scorpio is very much about deep dreams. Some of you might have some crazy lucid dreams on this full moon. Those are always signs of what to do next, right? Oh my gosh. And okay, this is a sign for me. Some of you know that I work with the goddess Morrigan, the Irish goddess of war, and I absolutely love this because the Ten of Swords, look at this, just a badass warrior. When I see this card, to me, it's like, okay, some of you might get a little pissed if I say this, but it is like, cut the bullshit. If you are hanging on to something that isn't working for you, it needs to be over right now. Cut the bullshit. This is this card. It's like when you are done, when you are like, I am not dealing with this anymore. I need this out of my life. I've held on to this crap too long. This person, this situation, this job, this belief that I have about myself that isn't working. I don't think I'm enough. I don't want to feel that way anymore. I want to get rid of it. That's this full moon in Scorpio, is like, cut the bullshit, get rid of it. Call upon the Morrigan. Call upon that warrior inside of you and take that sword and energetically slice through that bond to whatever it is that you're hanging on to and get rid of it. That is what I freaking love this card so much. It's like, hey, no one else is going to do it for you. If you are sick of it and you are done with the situation or person or whatever it is, get rid of it. Okay, let's do another card. Ooh, Eight of Pentacles. Love, love, love this card. So, for those of you that are starting over, I feel like many of you, and this may not resonate for everyone, this might be for, but I do feel like this is going to resonate for a lot of you, this card. This is a man working in the forge. He's a little bit of a perfectionist, and that's a good thing. He knows his skills. He knows his talents. He knows his worth. And he knows that he's just going to spend as much time as possible working on whatever area of his life needs the work for it to be right. And so let's take a few examples. Let's think about someone that maybe started a new business or wants to start a new business, and we're sitting there going, oh my dear God, like there's so many things to do when we start this business. We've got to get the website up and da-da-da-da. And of course, be sure to follow your intuition, because there's a lot of things you don't have to do that you think you have to do, but you don't. Follow your intuition. Go with wherever it takes you. Step 1. Step 2, take the time that you need to make whatever it is you are creating right for you. There is no reason to rush. So if we're looking at someone that's creating a new business, there's no reason to rush. It's all going to happen when it's meant to happen. Your people are going to come to you when everyone is ready. If we're looking at relationships, you might be in a brand new relationship. Take your time. Take your time with this person and communicate with them. This is like, I said the word perfection, but I don't mean that in a toxic sense. I mean, if we want things to be glorious in our life, we have to take the time. We have to know our worth and follow our intuition, and then take the time to grow those things in a very organic way. And now we're getting this card in a time when the earth is sitting in complete feminine energy. She has gone, you've heard me say this before, she has gone from that crazy masculine shit all the way over the feminine. I mean, we're not even balanced right now. We are way over in the feminine, and everyone is being pushed to their intuition. But what this is doing is giving everyone an opportunity to slow down. Slow down. Tune in. What do you want? And then understand that it takes a little bit of time to build that thing. A new business, a new relationship. Maybe you're single and you're dating. I'm in that boat right now, and I am not in a rush. I'm like, look, if I meet the right person, great. But I'm not about to go like throw myself out there at anybody who's in the wings waiting because I'm in a rush, because I'm not in a rush. I'm going to follow my intuition. And that's just an example for you guys. I'm feeling like I need to pull another card. If you have any questions, let me know, because I can see your comments pop up. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to pull one more card here. What does this particular group want to know? Let's see. Ooh, this card feels like it wants to come up. Yay! I love this. Two of Wands. Okay. This card to me is, twos are always decisions, right? It's always decisions. It's like you have this choice and you have this choice. And Wands, we're talking about fire. So first and foremost, what I really feel like I'm getting here is just understand that you have the power to choose. Again, I talk about this so much in my Moon Magic course, is that like power comes, your power is your magic, and all of your life, everything that you create, everything that you bring into your life is by choice. Now, I'm not saying there's not traumatic events that happen. We live in a world of 1 billion people, car accidents, those sorts of things. I'm not referring to that. I am referring to the emotions that come along with it. Say you did get into a car accident and that shit happens, and yes, you have the right to be pissed and you have the right to go through the emotions that you're going to go through, but you also have a choice to hold on to those emotions, to feel like a victim for the rest of your life, or you can work through that and let it go. So that's just one example of what I mean by you have the choice to whatever you bring into your life. It is by choice. You choose to bring certain people into your life. You choose to have relationships. You choose to work in jobs. None of us are victims here. None of us. We all have the power of choice. And that is what this Scorpio full moon is really bringing to the table. Again, what I mentioned earlier is we are ending the cycle of very deep, deep personal work. And a lot of times it comes from a belief that we have that we aren't good enough, or that we can't do something, or that we don't have the power. You know, a lot of people like to sit in that victim mentality because it means they don't have to take responsibility for their own choices and their own life and for changing things. But it is a choice. Now is the time to choose to get rid of shit. Now is the time to choose to self-love. Now is the time to choose you, and to choose to believe that you have the power to create whatever life you want. And as we move into this Gemini energy, it is very social energy. It is all about working with other people, friending other people, loving on other people. So we've got to have that belief in ourselves. That's where it starts. So that when we do start going back out there and interacting with other human beings, we are whole within ourselves. The other thing I love about this card is it's two little fairies dancing. Come on, they're having a good time. They're joyful. I'm so addicted right now. I'm going to pull another card. I'm in such a good mood today, in case you guys couldn't tell. I love this moon energy. I have spent the last few years getting rid of a lot of things, and it's like, whoo, finally, it's over. Yes, so one more. Okay, here we go. The Five of Wands. Now, this energy is a little interesting because it's a whole bunch. See, there's this beautiful tree and all these fairies at first glance are having a good time. But what this really is that 5 different fairies are doing 5 completely different things. This to me feels like the energy that we are going into. So in relation to what I just said, right now it's really important for you to tap into you and your energy what you want in the world, where you want to go, what you want to do. Because as we move into Gemini and as we open up and as we become social, everyone's going to be doing their own thing. And when you don't have strong boundaries and you aren't very clear about what you want in life, you start letting other people's decisions affect you. And all of a sudden your life starts turning into this like multitude of paths, and eventually you have no idea where you're going because you're following somebody else's dream, or you're letting your partner run the show, or your business is going in a direction you didn't want. Right now is the opportunity to sit down with this full moon and say, what do I want with my life? What do I want? That isn't selfish at all, by the way. That is power. That is magic. That is you creating the boundaries of your own life. What do you want? What do you want to create in this world? Who are you? You just did all of the self-work. What came out of that? Hold on to that. That is you. That is your authentic self. Do not let this chaos that's happening out there, and as we go out into the world, don't let other people sway you into being a person that you're not, because you don't need those people. You don't. If someone is trying to sway you into doing something or pressuring you, or you know what? Say you meet another, here's a perfect example. Say you go on a date and you meet another lovely person, but like their goals are completely different from your life goals. But you're two amazing human beings. You're like, but they're amazing. You know what? But are they in alignment with what you want? Is that new job or that job you currently have, anything you bring into your life right now, is it in alignment with what you want? Here's the thing. When you say no, when you put up your boundaries, and I'm not talking about like, I'm not letting anybody in. No, know what you want. Put up your boundaries. Be very clear about what you want. Things are going to come flying at you with this new energy, because the universe is like, ooh, is this what you want? Is this what you want? Is this what you want? It's your choice to say, no, close, but not quite. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate you giving me something, but it's not quite what I want. So let's try again. It doesn't need to be dramatic. It doesn't need to be, I always like talk about dating, because I think everyone can relate. But you see women out there that are like, oh my God, all these guys are talking to me, but like, I don't like any of them. That's cool. Don't choose any of them. Wait to choose the one that is right for you. You don't have to be dramatic about it. If you are, whatever it is that you're doing in your life, it doesn't need to be dramatic, right? This is the Scorpio full moon, so sometimes it's going to feel a little bit dramatic. It's going to be like these deep emotions, but guess what? If you're feeling drama, that's a sign that needs to go. Get rid of the drama. We don't need to sit in there. We are moving into this beautiful, beautiful Gemini energy, and Geminis are not dramatic. I mean, we all have our own things. Every sign has their own thing, but Geminis are not dramatic. They are super fun. They are super friendly, very social. I will say maybe Geminis, this is interesting. Okay, I'm just actually thinking about this. This is total Gemini energy right here. What do I do? Do I do this? Do I do this? Am I this person? Am I this person? Like, we always talk about Geminis as having these like multiple personalities. And that's only because the Gemini energy sometimes isn't decisive. And if you're a Gemini sun, you probably have a ton of other planets. So don't take that to heart. But that is the energy sometimes with Gemini, is like, do I do this? Do I do this? There's so many options. I want to be social. I want everyone to like me. I just want to have fun. Sink into that. Know what you want. So I'm going to end it with that. Know what you want as a human being. Take this opportunity for the full moon in Scorpio to end, it's about endings, to end the really, really deep work, self-work, the intimate relationships, the family. This is a time to wrap that up. But maintain and really, really focus and think about, who am I at the end of doing all of that work? Because you're probably more yourself than you ever were before. Maintain that person. You just found that person. You just found your self-love. You just found who you are and your authenticity. Maintain that person and use that as your foundation. Because again, we were in Capricorn and Cancer. Capricorn is that foundation. What foundation did you just build over the last year and a half? Maintain that. So when you move into this playful, fun energy, you have that rock and that anchor, which is self, which is the home you created, which is the relationships you created and you're hanging on to. That is your home. That's like your little root to grasp onto. That's your earth. And then when you're moving into this Gemini energy and you're socializing and the world starts expanding for you, you know where you're coming from and you start magnetizing. This is for everyone. You're going to be so shocked over the next year and a half. You're not magnetizing any of that crap that happened in the past, by the way. That's over. That's what you're closing. You're going to be so surprised what this new energy brings in for you. It is going to be in alignment with the person that you ended up with at the end of this year and a half cycle. And right now, if you're not happy with that person, you always have the opportunity and the choice to change. But I guarantee you, I know many of you, probably all of you, have gone through a huge transformation in the last few years. Just know that brand new things are coming. This is the end. There's new beginnings happening. I am so excited. I can't wait. Please comment away. I want to hear all about what's happening in your life. I want to hear about the things you've closed out. Please share the things that you're welcoming in, the things that you're really excited about. And if you don't have all the ideas right now, again, it's okay. This is kind of a transition period. May is a transition period. Once we hit June, things are going to explode and that new life is really going to start coming in for you. So be patient, take your time. Now is the perfect opportunity to get very clear on what it is that you want, who it is you are, and how you want to step out into the world. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much. I just wanted to especially thank all of the people. I had like 30 people sign up for Moon Magick that are all doing my 16-day experience. We are ending it tomorrow. It has been so amazing. I will be doing it again in May, and I'm going to be shaking it up a little bit. I'm going to have some other things going on, so stay tuned for that information. I will be sure to tell the group about it. I love you guys so much, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye. Mwah!